Hello guys, karibuni sana. My name is Moses. I'm from Kenya. I'm currently in Belgium, and I know people have been and friends have been asking Moses, how did you make it to come to Europe? Ulifanya nini? What happened? What was the process and all that? So this video is for explaining why I am in Europe, how I came here, how life is in Europe, and the challenges that you can find in Europe. So that in case you are preparing to come here, at least you know what to expect. So I came to Europe in 2019, and I came here because of studies. I got a scholarship. We'll talk about education segment part of it later, but what today I want to talk about is the whole life it is coming to Europe. So the moment I got the scholarship, I came here. And I remember that day around September when I was coming. It was, I think, my second or third time to be on a plane for quite some hours. So I got to JKIA, and then I traveled for like 12 hours, and then all the way to Brussels airport. And the first thing when you land in Brussels is the place is damn cold, because I came around when the winter was starting, and that place is usually cold compared to where I'm coming from the tropics. So it was a bit cold. There was no one to come and pick me from the airport. I had to find my way around the airport. Of course, the people there are very friendly. They will tell you what to do, how to do about the directions, everything that you need to do. So I went in Kajikuta to where the train station was. I bought my ticket, and that's how I came to Leuven. When I landed in Leuven, there was someone waiting for me because it's just where now I study. So nikakuja Leuven, and then the guy picked me with a taxi, and we drove all the way to my residence. This is where my residence is. This is where I have been for like 2 years. It has been quite a journey being here for 2 years. I have at least some few things that I have learned or I have experienced that I think they are most important for anybody thinking of coming here, anybody thinking of moving from home, or anybody thinking like Europe is the best place to be. All those, I have at least some few things so that you guys can make the right decisions. One is personally, when I came here, there is what we call a culture shock. And you come here speaking Swahili, and of course you can speak some English, and of course I can speak my mother tongue, Muriega. That was it. Those were the three languages that I could speak fluently. But again, when you come here, you find that people speak English, some of them, especially classmates and our professors, but anybody else speaks Dutch, because I'm in the Flemish side of Belgium. Belgium is divided about into 3 parts. So there is Wallonia, there's the Flemish, and also the part that is near Germany that they speak German. Wallonia speaks French, and so here people speak Dutch. Dutch is the same as Swahili back home. That's how it is. So you go to a restaurant, the signs, the roads are all written in Dutch. So when you come and everything is in Dutch, you are not sure what to say, what to do. So you have to start at least learning some few basics of what it means so that you could at least fit. So that was one. Like the language was crazy, and Dutch is a language that is spoken in a way that you can't understand. If I am speaking Dutch to you, I will be like, "Ik had been Moses." Like you have to put that emphasis at the back of the tongue. Ik had been Moses. That means I am Moses. I try to adjust because you are not alone, so you have fellow students and others that you need to adjust to. So I try to adjust to it and see how can I better my understanding of Dutch. So that's a story for another day. So there is also the different culture. Remember where I come from, people are used to saying hi to our neighbors, saying hi to anybody on the road, going to visit someone without saying I'm coming, or we are much we have what I would call a social life in Africa or back home in Kenya. Here in Europe, people are so reserved that you cannot go to visit your friend without, say, booking an appointment. If you go, the friend will not open for you, or somehow he'll be doing his own stuff. And then another thing is like to mind your own business. You know, like for example, if you get to an elevator, you don't start saying hi to everyone. Everybody will be on his phone. Everybody will be having headphones or listening to their music. So you have to mind your own business and keep distance. Give everybody his personal space. Mtu kivyake. So back home, you know, you get to an elevator, you're like, hi, ni aje, mko aje. Here you don't. You keep your lane, I keep. The most confusing things on top of all that, in Belgium, people drive on the right hand side. So Kenya, we drive on the left. Here they drive on the right. You are walking or using a bike, because we have bicycle lanes here and like home, which is a very good thing because we have pedestrians, cyclists, and then we have vehicles, and they are all catered for and protected. So when you are using the bike or walking and you are consciously in Belgium, you are like, yeah, I'm in Belgium. So you maintain the right hand side of that road. But the moment you are now walking unconsciously and thinking about home, thinking about school, thinking about things, your mind and your body starts to refocus itself to go to the left. And that's where you will hear a lot of people shouting at you, or because you are like going to the wrong side and you have to go back to the other side. Actually, this happened to me when I came to Kenya. After 1 year, I went back home and I was driving from Isiolo to Nyanyuki, and the moment I joined the main road, instead of driving on the left hand side, I drove for almost 2 kilometers on the right hand side. Thank God there was no cars that were coming. And then I was like, why are the boda is 2 or 3 of them tumepitana na wao wanapitia the side yenye napitia wrong side. And that's why it clicks, oh, I'm in Kenya. And then you have to go back to the left hand side and maintain yours. The same case happens even when you are in Belgium. But thank God, like you always find people where you go. You make friends where you go. I have friends who are from here. I have friends who are back from home. I have some friends who we can speak Swahili, who we can speak mother tongue, and it makes you feel as if you're home. And it's very important because we support each other mentally and even socially, and all aspect of living in the diaspora. Another thing that you really need to understand is the reality of what is in Europe and what we think Europe looks like. Those are two different things. Let me start when I was back home before coming to Europe, how I perceived Europe was. So what we have seen is people living a very good life. No stress, life is good. And money maybe is so easy to get when you're in Europe. Everything in Europe works. If you need the best places to go is in Europe. We have seen it in movies. We have seen it from people who post pictures in Instagram, and we admire to go to that place. That is what we know when we are back home. But my friend, when you come to Europe, one, the reality on the ground, that's why we say kwa ground, vitu vichenjaga, vitu ni tofauti. Kwa nini? Because when you come to Europe, that's when the reality. I was lucky because I was depending on a scholarship, which they give me more than 120k Kenyan money. So I'm good, I'm protected, I can enjoy myself. But if you don't have a scholarship, man, life is difficult. So the good thing about Europe is the facilities, the system, the governance system is working. It's good. It's not anything near what we have back home, which they have taken so many years to reach where they are. And I think we are also heading there, but it may take time for us to get where they are. So for example, the transport system, the public transport system, I pay around 3,000 Kenyan shillings to use the bus for 1 year. a whole year. I have the card. I have my card. So what I just need to do when I get the bus, I'll go and there's somewhere I can swipe my card, and this is the card that you can see. This is the card. So with this card, I am able to go with the bus, and like our place, of course, we know what happens back home. 3,000 za kukutoa Nairobi uende Mombasa ziishe, so you have to sort yourself. But here, that is a system that is worked. I think that's a concept that we can take home, whereby we need to prioritize people who are walking, then people who are on bicycles, then people who are on motorbikes, then people who have cars, in that order. Here they do that. And it's a challenge, especially coming from Nairobi. You know how we live in Nairobi, kuna kugoja. So it's like when you come here, you're like, hey, why are people so lazy here? I'm wondering, situpite. And then you have to, I have a friend who was fined around 58 euros for just crossing. Hata hakukuwa na gari. Ilikuwa around saa 9 ya usiku. Usiniulize tulikuwa tunatoka hapo. But that means that for the system to work, you have to pay taxes. Now, for you to pay taxes, you have to work. The thing is, in Europe, it's easy. I'm in Belgium. In Belgium, it's easy to get the job. It's easy to get that job. But you have to have the right papers, the right qualification. You get the job. And then you have to work. For us as a student, we don't have the residential permit that allows us to work in those places where you can be employed permanently or something. So they have to get the jobs that you think. You can guess what I do. You can guess what I do. Yeah, you can guess like the job, kind of job that I do. So the first time I came, I applied for a job, and then I got a job in a chocolate company. They were packaging some chocolate bars, and I was excited. Right? I thought I would be made an assistant manager. Yeah, I'm doing a master's program. So I went there, and we were around 20 of us, and these guys put us in a factory with a lot of knives, with a puri. The chocolate bars are passing here. You have to wrap them with those bags, green and red. So you pick it, package it, let it pass, put another green one like that, and let it pass. And let me tell you, like you do that for like 4 hours. Let me tell you, the moment I was going back home, I could only see green, red, until I came to my room and slept. So it's not as easy as people say. So as a student, we don't have that luxury to get those jobs. So what I do personally right now, I am a cleaner. So good. I do cleaning of course. My mother thinks that I'm working in a very big organization. I hope she doesn't watch this. So I clean the floors. I clean the toilets. I never went back to that factory. And then the good thing is, 1 hour they pay you around 13 euros, which I work like 3 hours per day because I have to balance it with school. So 13 euros is around 1,500 Kenyan shillings. So 1,500 shillings za Kenya. Unajua nilikuwa nafanya mjengo, nilikuwa mtu wa mkono. Those are like 3 days uko umeenda mjengo. So when I'm working that, I try to multiply them in the Kenya, convert zikuwe za Kenya nikuwe encourage. So every morning I can, like, before I niende class or before I do anything, nakuwa niko guaranteed like at least nimetafuta like 1,500 times 3 hours. You know, work like 3 hours. That's around more than 4,000. And at least, yeah, life is nice. That way you can be able to do the things that you can do. You can save and do several other things. Of course, there are other things that I do that I was still doing in Kenya, consultancy, but I'm still doing it, and that adds on what I can earn. But if I wasn't doing anything else, life in Europe is a little bit difficult. It requires you to really work hard. So the system here is good, but you have to work. You have to really work. Food you'll get. Transport is okay, but you have to work. Like you can be working and paying bills because the bills are so high. Imagine, I'll show you my room. My room is, let me say, I wouldn't call it's a bed sitter utoe choo. It's a bed sitter without a toilet. That bed sitter without a toilet, I pay around 303 euros. If I exchange them using world remit, which I use to save money, If I nikizi convert it's around almost 37 Kenyan, 37k, 37,000 za Kenya. That's a lot of money. I usually imagine if I am living in a bed sitter paying that 7,000, what if I was in Nairobi? I think I would be living in one of the best places. Although hata kama haitakuwa mzuri sana, but that 7 is a lot of money. So you see, so you can get the money, but then the bills are high. You get. I went to the supermarket. This is one receipt that I went to the supermarket with. I paid around 38 euros. You know what I bought? I bought like a packet of milk that was around €1.0 something. I bought some avocados. Yes, avocados here and mangoes. They are selling. They are big thing here. I don't know if where they import them, but that's a very nice business opportunity because the two mangoes that they have, I think I have one here. Avocado, I bought it at around 3.7 euros. That's around almost 400 or 500. I have an orange. I have some oranges that I kept here. This one is around half kg. Wait, let me check. Around 8.7. And also I have these ones. This is an apple. An apple was around 2.999, and you can see the total was around that one. The bread here, we buy bread around 70 currently in Kenya. The bread here is 1.59. So with 5,000 here, it's nothing. It's something that you can go buy and it's gone. Yeah. If I was to buy credit, this is it. You can see it's like 5. That's the cheapest. Then they all go all the way up to, you can buy up to 90. 90 is around 10k. Life is expensive. You can be working and paying bills, But the good thing is, at least you can see you have a good life. You may not be able to save a lot, but you can be able to do a few things that you have. The thing is, you get money here, take it back home, do something back home. You take the money here, you put it back home, get something here, save it home, so that way at the end of the day, when you go back home, you have something to show. So this one, it's a lot of money, and you can see it's it's something that is a little bit small. So that is something that the life that is in Europe is expensive. Yeah, because you can live, and then we have cases of even when we are saying that you want to be in Europe, it can never be home, it can never replace home. So my take is usually this one. But before I tell you like what I think it's the best thing to do, it's like expect also what we call systemic racism. Systemic racism is everywhere, because there are some jobs here you won't get because you don't speak Dutch. You understand? Because you'll be interacting with people. There are some jobs you can't get because you don't have the right residential permit. There are some jobs you will not get because you are not a permanent resident. That's what we call systemic racism. It's everywhere. We have it in Kenya because you also cannot, as a foreigner, get some jobs. But Africa is a different story. But here they did follow it. Another thing is like before you get those very formal jobs, they have to look for their own. And I think this one also we need to do it back home. They have first of all to look for their own. If they don't get their own in Belgium, they expand their territory to the EU, the European Union. They look for someone who can be able to do what it's available to be done. If they don't get someone in Europe, then they can expand to the rest of the world. Trust me, Africa, we are not number 2 or number 3. We are somewhere. But I have seen people who come here, they settle here, and they do well. Okay? So my take is usually, if you really have nothing to lose back home, if you have nothing to lose back home, life is not okay, you haufanyi vizuri, maisha haijakaa vizuri, and you have nothing to lose, apply to come to Europe, life will be better. You will have the food, you can drive a car, you can do all those stuff. By the way, getting a car, you can be paying monthly. It's not a big thing. And here we only drive German machine. We only have taxis, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, Audi. I don't see the big cars like we have home, like Land Cruisers. They are not here. Those are zinapitiaga huko zikitoka Japan, zinazunguka zinaenda huko, but here they specifically deal with France and Germany. Of course, you'll find some other cars that are from Japan, but majorly here. So life here, what I mean is like you can make it if you come here, but if you are doing well, and this is the reality, if you are doing well, the best place to be is home. If you are doing well and you have your businesses, do not close the businesses, do not sell your businesses to come to Europe. That's where you can. Come to Europe for holidays. Visit here, it's okay. But if you are doing very well, usijidanganye like Europe is the promised land. We can make our country the promised land that we want. Once we do that, we will understand. For students, so what we need to do, make sure that you apply for the scholarship, look for those opportunities to come here, because once you come here, it broadens your mind. You are able to focus. The education system here is so extensive as well as intensive, and I'm telling you, like, they open your eyes in a way that you cannot imagine back home. So if you get that opportunity as a student to come to study in Belgium, I'll leave the link of the scholarship that I got under here in my link. You can get it there. So that is the best thing to do. Come here, study, learn as much as you can, take anything that you can back home. Let's go and develop home. Once we are able to develop home, these guys will be coming there, because here the weather is pathetic. I won't lie. I don't like the weather here. It's not as good as it is home. So that's it, guys. Like, if you are doing well at home, stay home. If you are a student, you want to come here, apply and come here, and you'll enjoy. Okay? Until next time, let's keep in touch. I love you guys. Take care. God bless you, and see you next time.